Welcome to another edition of 5 Minutes with Joe. Today we're going to make something with just one ingredient, and one ingredient only. We're here in beautiful Minnesota, and today this is the Ice Lantern edition. Okay, while you only need one ingredient to make ice lanterns, you do need some tools. And here in Minnesota, the tools we use, number one, is a good plastic 5-gallon bucket and temperatures that are probably south of 20 degrees. Right now, we're about 18 degrees and we're heading down. So this would be a great tool, and the weather is perfect for us for making ice lanterns. I feel sorry for folks in other parts of the country that can't make these. But you fill this bucket about 3/4 of the way up, set it outside. It probably takes about 24 hours for the ice to get thick enough for us to make a lantern. And we'll show you that later. You can see the thickness of it. So that's the ice bucket method, but there's lots of other ways you can make ice lanterns too. And another way to do it is using a balloon. You get a 12-inch balloon, you fill it up, and you do exactly the same thing. You set it outside on the ground and let it freeze till it's about 1 inch thick. Then we're going to lift it up and we're going to take the water out of it, turn it upside down, and make that into an ice lantern too. Okay, here we are at the backyard estate of the beautiful Zonner Manse, and here in beautiful Minnesota. And here's our bucket of water that we brought out in the backyard, and we're just going to let it sit on a nice flat surface. So what's going to happen is it's going to freeze on the top to about 2 inches or so. The sides will freeze to about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, and the bottom will freeze almost not at all because it's in contact with the ground. So when we're done, we're going to turn it out, turn it upside down, open it up, pour all the water out, and you'll have a perfect ice lantern. You could also do this if you have a walk-in freezer. You can also recreate this at your cafeteria or whatever. Put this on the ground in your walk-in freezer, make a really nice decoration for a holiday party. Lantern will last you a couple hours out there during dinner. Okay, and here we have the balloon that we talked about, the water balloon. It's full of water. Well, it is for now. It won't be water much longer. And what I did is I put it in a saucer here, a shallow saucer, and that's going to give us a nice flat bottom when I put it down here. And so it's going to happen, the same thing that's going to happen to this that happens to the bucket, is the outside is going to freeze, and the bottom part is going to freeze hardly at all because it's in contact with the ground. And that's where we're going to get a hole to put them in the snow, make a nice candle lantern. Okay, some time has passed since we last spoke, and it's a day later, and these have been sitting out, the bucket and our balloon have been sitting out overnight. And the bucket here, I'm looking inside here and I can see by the bubbles that it's probably, the bottom here is probably about 1 inch thick, and the sides are only about 1/2 inch thick, so it's not quite ready to go yet. But our balloon, I think, is ready to go. So a balloon from the backyard, it feels pretty solid, and I pull it off of the bowl, and the balloon just comes right off of here. And I can see inside, I can see a bubble inside here where the bottom is, and I hope I can do this without dropping it because it's very slippery. And we have here NSF approved, an NSF approved ice pick, which I'm going to use just to chip the bottom here. And then I'm going to pour the water out into the snow. And here we have a really nice, perfect globe. I want it a little bit bigger so I can get my candle in there. Dump out the ice. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it right here in the snow, just like so. My candle goes inside, just like that. I light the candle, and we get a beautiful display. It's been 2 days since we had our ice bucket out in the cold air here in Minnesota, and we're going to check it out and see where we're at. I look inside there, and the bubble is about 2 inches straight down, so that's going to be our base. That's how it is. And the sides here, it looks like it's about 1 inch to 1.5 inches thick. So we're good to go as far as this one goes. I took this bucket and took it in the house for about half an hour just to warm up the sides so it'll come out of here. So let's pour it out of here and see what we get. Okay. You can see we don't even need to cut the top off. The bottom was very thin, and we can just break off the ice around the edge here like so. I just pour it over, pour the water out, and we end up with a very icy walkway. Put our ice lantern here, and we can position it in the snow so we get it nice and flat. And I just happen to have in my pocket a votive candle. And all you do is you just put your candle down the bottom there, like so, and you light that on the bottom, and you have yourself an ice lantern. And there you have it. Thanks for joining us for another edition of 5 Minutes with Joe. We hope you enjoyed it, and from beautiful Minnesota, happy holidays.